Good evening, friends. Myself, Mr. Deepak Singh from allpoetry.com, Academy of Arts, Aartiii the Jyoti. My friend, today again I am with a new poem which I have written today only, and I would like to discuss some of the lines from this poetry which I have written. You may like it and may enjoy it. After I may elaborate the sense of it. My friend, today or onwards, as we are all moving on with our possibilities of knowing, or with our aperture of what we have accustomed of, we are all technical and we are all in the formation of technology. Whatever we are coming across, whatever objectives, whatever device we are coming across, they are all the accent or all the terms or the configuration of an enormous way or enormous formulation of embodiment of technology there. It is not the days now onwards, or now as we are all living on with methods of any such thing that is working on a simple machine. Indeed, the philosophy of a simple machine is there. That has not gone obsolete, because that is the primary and the basic one, the philosophy of simple machines. But with that philosophy of simple machines, we do have also got a logic behind it. All the techniques that has imbibed on and the skills that has been imbibed on or learned on has got, or has been surfaced out, has been covered up with the doctrines of logic. And with this all binding together, they are all in a form of technology. Now, my friend, you would be thinking that why he is speaking on technology. Yes, technology is there even in our mind too, because as you all already come across that I would be speaking on neuroscience. So how I have crafted this poetry with a way of technology accent in the mind, or in the weight-way, or in the brain. My friend, long time back it was on the discovery of a wheel, or long time back one on the discovery of a fire. Slowly the evolution of thinking took place. As the evolution started rolling on, or they came into dynamics, they started taking on an exponential form. They came into an exponents. Slowly, lots of revolution came on. And out of that revolution, outcome of that revolution, a massive changes took place in our society. Today we had got a simple device in our hand which has got a so unique quantum technology working on over there. In a moment we can communicate to anyone. But we have already come across long time back, as we have already, you have known the movie 10 Commandments, my friend, where Moses took the tablet in his hand and just inscribed the 10 Commandments over there, the tablet. Today we have tabs. The accent or the quotient of that formation, the string of thoughts or the flux of knowing, is continued in the formation. so that we could make our livings in a more better way or in betterment. But what is the way? Though we are making it too easy for us, we are making very easy for us of our way of communication or of our way of connecting to each other. But what is the main philosophical bent in our mind going on? How much we could we get accustomed or get awareness of these all facts? On to these points, making on these all points, my friend, I have just gone through. That idea came into my mind, and as I put down into my writing in poetry, so that it come into the sense of a poetic sense. As it is a poetic sense, it has got a modulus term to make it in understandings. So you need to bring out the extract of knowing of this poetry according to your own cognitive logs, my friend. That depends on you how you take the poetry as by your own nurturing of your cognitive logs. The topic of the poem, my friend, is corners of terminology. With an operational sign, there exist. Here it is been written here, or it is as mentioned, is reverse E. When E, capital E is reversed in mathematics, it is read or understood as there exist. So, as the topic is said, as the corners of terminology, there exist abstract sowing thoughts. The enormous way of thinking, the possibility of discovery, the methods of invention, the inquisitiveness or the curiosityness, how the flux of neurons weaves the thought culture and cocoons its metamorphic form in its mind. And with that, in the last of the topic, as it is said that with the set theory, the union of mind quantum. Here, mind is given with other word, that is quantum. Quantum too is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity by which we come into the possibilities or probabilities of the wave particle. It is a melody of waves and particles. It is a probability. We have read Sir Erwin Schrödinger. We have read about Heisenberg. So as it is on their basis, this poetry is made on, my friend. So the corners of terminology, there exist abstract sowing thoughts. Abstract sowing thoughts means the thoughts are planted. How the thoughts are planted. My main objective of what it is going on through the overt formation, why not the same kind of language or literal codes should come in the terms of our mind and brain, so that we could get accustomed to this as a common way of understanding, so that the more we use these all words with our mind and brains or gateway and neurons or neurotransmitter, more and more, slowly we may be able to be very conscious of our every apparatus. We will not forget that yes, there is something in our self that is continuously in action and enabling us a terms of existence, bringing out all the overt culture into our mind culture, or bringing into the apparatus of our gateway or the brain the same terminology that is used in the overt sense, with the codes we would use it in our brain or wetware, and bring the components of vectors by the effort of mind, we will be too much common with these all words. And why to be so much common? Why should we become so common with these words? What is the necessary? Why the literature should be like this way? My friend, as I generally used to say, that literature is very good. Yes, it is a sense of heart, emotions, all over there. But as there is an upgradation of everything, so we need little upgradation in literature too. That is, we must bring into a scientific term of literature, so that the accent of what the literature, that it has already covered the nature, now should ever able to bring out the covert nature of our mind and wetware too. So the lines has been said, it is, my friend, literature of the art. Here the literature of the art is very nicely been defined here within scientific terms, with an advancement of logic there, with a binary operation over there, that amended the crest and trough to skyrill. That means, as according to the topic, as you catch the topic, abstract sowing thoughts. When we think, my friend, you have come across comics. Everyone has come across comics. It is a two-dimension, it is a picture, it is a two-dimension picture over there. When we come across a comics, when someone speaks out something or tries to make out something, the tagging form is very nicely said with a tag, and it is indication is meant over there. But when someone is thinking how that part is shown over there, they're shown just like a cloud with a dot dot dot, small circles with a dot 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 over there. So that is the way that amended the crest and trough to skyrill. The abstract thinking, whenever we think, we are totally with the vicinity of the sky. We are on the weave of the sky terms. We cannot see that, cannot make it that. But still, there is something is going on. Otherwise, how would have been possible? On by cloud densities. As we see the clouds over, we can make it out. That's all. Nimbus cloud. There is different types of clouds over there. So the first line, as it has been described, the literature of the art that amended the crest and trough to skyrill. As by the scientific terms, or as by the scientific literature that amends, that makes, here amends is said in a terms as it makes it more beautiful. On the features of the skyrill, on the features of thinking of abstract, the sowing of, just like we sow the seed for the plantation, for the crops. In the same way, that thinking process comes into our wetware and brings the source out all the comprehensive codes. The codes are the seeds. The operational signs are the seeds. The syntax are the seeds. The symbols are the seeds. These are the abstract sowing. And that's happening on the skyrill. The sky, the mind sky even. What is above in the sky, that is also as above, so within, as below, so above. So as it is said in the spiral on by cloud densities. And this thinking process goes on and on and on and on and on with the rate of time. The concentration process increases too much. As the concentration process increases, the density of the mind gets heavy. The greater the density, the mind gets heavy. And onto the features of the wonderful programming due the general relativity, obviously. Due to the program, and then the construction and the making of this knowing comes into the programming, because we need a binary operation there of anything which we are making on, anything which we are bringing on into the approach. We need a total binary operations of everything, that how it has been making on, how the neurons are binding to each other. Means these are all the hypothetical sense or abstract way or a poetical way of making into a custom of these all facts in such a way that the literature has to be taught with the neuroscience too, so that people or everyone should be knowing of the mind and brain, including mind and brain too much. Yes, that is the powerful thing we have in us. The more we will be knowing and more we will be using all these words with all that, with the subjects we have, different distinguished subjects we have, the more it will become very easy and common for us. And the more we will start knowing to ourselves with this ascent of neuroscience, the possibility of any distress may be averted, my friend. This is the only motive. And programming due to general relativity, as the second line says, that on to the features of wonderful programming due to general relativity. General relativity, that means on the sign signature, quantum signature of the cosmos. With the signature of the cosmos, with the forbearance of the cosmos, everything is happening and knowing and making us known of our existence. And thus appended the course. As the course is made on, as I said, my friend, the 10 Commandments by Moses. And today we have got tab in our hand. The same tablets with 10 Commandments has come into the tablets. This tabs has come into so many features. There's so much apps over there. The innovation has evoluted in the form of exponential terms. That is the way it is written here. The appended the course, quantum advantage in inertial tendency. Obviously the inertia that is once fed by our forefathers and our ancestors, that we are all moving on. We are all under the dynamics. We are all under the motion. These feelings that we are under motion, though we don't seem to be out of the relative sense, but indeed we have to be known of. These are all the tools, as for I am making out of that. These are the tools of consciousness by which we could totally make ourselves always aware of the fact that out of the relativity of motion, we are not in complete rest, though we are in the rest, but we are in the vicinity of motion. With the quantum to the general relativity, with the very minute to the macro. Completely get aware of these facts. And thus the inertial tendency. The third line I said, my friend. And the fourth line, as said, the settlement is use of the knowing in the craft. And thus the matter comes into some terms or issues of knowing into the settlement. into the form of comprehension. Contemplation has to be, or contemplation has deduced out. It is solved. The whole thought process has brought a summation to the resultant terms. And the density to subside the abstract. And those abstract that were so beyond, so vast as the thought go, or as the thoughts floats off above, get subside, get into the minimal effect of equation or terms or any writings or any codes or any alphabets or any word or any phrase or any clause. They come in these all terms, my friend. So as it is said like that. So the settlement issues of the knowing in the craft, densities to subside the abstract views abilities, and thus the result of total ability come across. So this is the first 4 lines, my friend. I have tried to make out from the poem today which I have written corners of terminology. There exists abstract sowing thoughts with the union of mind quantum over there. I hope you may like it. So I am pausing now here. Myself, Mr. Deepak Singh from allpoetry.com. Aartiii the Jyoti, Academy of Arts. Please go through the poem and have a good time. Thank you, my friend.